All right, guys, we're on the 4th page. What we're going to do is kind of the same thing we just did with the last page, because we're given our equation, but this time we have 3 different equations. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to utilize the space that I have, and I'm actually going to pull out my handy-dandy highlighters. That way I know that all of my answers for equation A are going to be in blue. All my answers for B are going to be in orange. And all my answers for C are going to be in yellow. So, right here, I'm given my X and my Y. And the question is, on which of the following lines does each point lie? A point may lie on more than one line. So keep that in mind. If you get one, like if A fits onto this line, if 5 equals 5, don't stop there. You've got to make sure that all of them do or do not. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to write this down. Y equals X plus 5. What's my X? My X is 0. What's my Y? My Y is 5. So I'm going to go 5 equals 0 plus 5. Does 5 equal 5? Yes, it does. So then A is going to make that true. What about B? Y equals negative X plus 7. So what's my X? My X is negative, it would be negative 0 because negative X plus 7. And then what's my Y? My Y is 5. Does 5 equal negative 7? No, it does not. So that's my answer for that one, and that one is a no. Now I'm going to do a little bit, probably, I'm going to do it up on top. Let me see, will you guys be able to see that? Yep. So I have Y equals 2X minus 1. What was my Y? My Y is 5 equals 2 times, what was my X? 0 minus 1. Does 5 equal 0 minus 1? Or 0 negative 1? No, it does not. This was my starting equation, and that's where I went when I incorporated all of my variables. This was my starting equation, incorporating my variables, and this one was no as well. So you're going to do that for 6, 7, and 8. Now, for 7, I had 2 people stay after class and ask today if 8/3, if you have to do 8/3. No. What you can do, and this is what I'm going to do so that our answers equal out. I'm going to do 8 divided by 3 equals 2.667, or you can do 2.7. And then for Y, 13 divided by 3 is 4.3. Your numbers are going to be a little bit off from the answer key, but that's fine. I'm going to accept those answers. Now, let's bump down to the bottom. You guys know how to do these ones. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this one. Decide if each table represents a linear relationship. How do we do that? We decide, well, what does it take to go from 18 to 6? Well, I'm going down 12. And from 6 to negative 6, I go down 12 more. And from negative 6 to negative 18, I go down or to the left even more. Well, what about this? Negative 3 to negative 1, I'm going up 2, or to the right 2. Negative 1 to 1, I'm going to the right or up or adding 2. And for this one, I'm going to the right or up or adding 2. So if these are consistent, if these go up at a constant rate or down, and these go up or down at a constant rate, now I have my difference in y's, which is negative 12, over my difference in x's. So you don't even have to find this answer, but I would really like you to all try. That way you get more accommodating, not the right word, more comfortable finding the slope. I have negative 12 divided by 2. Well, 12 divided by 2 is 6, but I have a negative here, so I got to keep that negative. So, does this go down at a constant rate? Yes. Does this go up at a constant rate? Yes. So therefore, it is linear. My slope is difference in y's, which is negative 12, over difference in x's, which is 2. My slope is negative 6. And just looking at this, I want you guys to come up with whether it is a positive or a negative slope. If it's not linear, it's not going to be a positive or a negative. But if it's linear, I want you to tell me if it's positive or negative. Well, I have a negative and a positive, making my slope negative, which means I'm going down 6 and over 1. So my slope is going to look like, just kidding. My slope is going to look like this. So then it's going to be a negative.